would engage the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, NAPE. Now, NAPE says it has trained 24,000 youth in innovative agriculture under the Ghana Cares Obatampa program, and has dispersed grants to 1,000 beneficiaries so far. I mean, and also some 30 tech hubs across the 16 regions of the country have benefited from government's 80 million cedis capacity building program under the NEIP Hubs Acceleration Grant Program of the Ghana Economic Transformation Project, GTEP. Our guest is Kofi Ofosun-Kansah, CEO of NEIP. So thanks for this opportunity to get into NAPE and to understand what you're doing currently. What's happening in the office so far?
Okay, thank you very much. A lot is happening. As you know, in the year 2017, the President set up the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program as a flagship initiative to provide integrated national support for startups and small businesses. And this support comes in the form of business development services, training and capacity building, funding support, connecting our beneficiaries to markets, that is access to markets and market linkages, providing access to quality assurance and regulatory agencies like Food and Drugs Authority, Ghana Standards Authority, so that our beneficiaries will get the right certification and licensing to be able to undertake their businesses, take their products to market, and other business development support services that startups need. And it's been an interesting journey so far. It started at the Business Development Ministry under Honorable Dr. Awa. My senior brother John Kuma was the first CEO, and they rolled out a couple of interesting products. I'm talking about our programs, you know, for the program. And some of these programs were the presidential pitch, presidential business support, the presidential empowerment for male entrepreneurs with disability, presidential empowerment for women entrepreneurs with disability, our greenhouse project, the Students Entrepreneurship Initiative, and others. And we've been running those programs since 2017. We've been able to train over 70,000 beneficiaries, you know, through these programs. And so far, we have created some 100,000 jobs from them. Out of the 12,000 or so grants and loans that we've given to these beneficiaries. So that has been the journey so far, and it's been very interesting. And that is what I am building on. So I am continuing with these existing programs like the presidential pitch. So just last Friday, we had a 4th season of the presidential pitch, and the presidential pitch is a business competition for young people, 40 years and below. They come and pitch to the president. We get entries across all sectors of the economy, TVET, manufacturing and processing, agribusiness, and what have you. And we select the last 30. We come to Accra, take them through preparatory sessions, and select the final 10 for them to pitch to the president. And the whole idea is to select high growth potential startups, to invest in them, to expose them, you know, to put them out there for the general public, prospective investors, angel investors, those who will be interested in investing in such businesses, to see them so that they can invest in them. Even though we give them good grants, it's not bad. This year, for instance, the winner got 200,000 Ghana cedis. But we do not think that will be enough for the entrepreneurship journey. So what the presidential pitch really does for the winners or the contestants is to put them out there, you know, for would-be investors to see them and then to come on board and invest in those businesses for them to become the unicorns that we want to have in future. So an example of a startup which has done very well from the presidential pitch is Chicken Man Pizza Man.
Oh, the beneficiary?
Yeah, which, he was 10th in the 2nd season, which was held in the year 2019.
Oh, okay.
And with the little capital that NEIP gave him then as a K University student, he was able to start his first branch, Pizza Man Chicken Man. He is today. Other investors have come on board to invest in the business, and he is employing over 1,000 individuals, young people in Ghana, and he has the largest restaurant chain in the country now, you know, creating value for Ghanaians and contributing to our economic development. So that's the whole idea of the presidential pitch, to zoom in on high potential startups who have the high probability of doing well, so that in future they can then expand and create more jobs for the good people of Ghana.
Okay.
So if we look at what is happening in the economy, the government is building an entrepreneurial nation.
Okay.
To achieve two things: one, fiscal consolidation, and also to help with job creation. Because our finances are not all good as a developing country, but we believe that if we're able to nurture the big businesses, if we're able to support people to create alternative employment avenues aside the regular government payroll and private corporate sector, then we will be churning out future Sir Kwame Despite and Zoom Lions and the rest, so that they will in turn employ lots of people. So this is to mark a conscious departure from job seeking to job creation and ownership. So a lot is happening in the entrepreneurship ecosystem. Our sister agency, Ghana Enterprise Agency, they are doing a lot of grants through various World Bank programs. NEIP, we're also doing the same. I'll be talking about other programs that I have also added on to our portfolio since I took over. And all these are geared towards telling our young people that, hey, you don't have to finish school, go through the formal sector to do national service and sit home to wait for government. You can start something, because government is creating the conducive environment for entrepreneurship to thrive, for innovation to thrive, to encourage our young people, for them to know that if I start something, government will do the hand-holding, government will provide the support and help us to also reach our destination. Because entrepreneurship is also challenging. It is very, very challenging. So we will continue to provide these supports through our programs and various interventions. Because the president himself is very committed. That is why at our programs like the presidential pitch, you have the president sit for 2 hours just to see young people pitch their businesses to him, so that he can also continue to provide the support that they need to grow the businesses.
Okay. Yeah. There's one thing helping them to set up.
Yeah.
And there's another thing helping them to sustain the businesses. What is the plan?
So we have good sustainability plans. One of which is our collaboration with the startups, the tech hubs, the various innovation and tech hubs. So we have a nationwide arrangement with the tech hubs, and they are like our branches. So wherever our beneficiaries are, we assign them to the tech hubs in the communities, and then they would be going to the sites to inspect the businesses, to give us reports on how the businesses are doing and all that. We also have our internal M&E team, monitoring and evaluation team, which also goes to the field, to the business sites. We call them, we take reports from them, we go to inspect what they are doing, and that is what informs us to continue supporting them. So there are some beneficiaries who have accessed support 2-3 times because they are doing well and they need more support.
Okay.
So we do a lot of monitoring and evaluation together with our partner hubs to ensure that the businesses are using the grants and loans we give them for the purposes for which they took them. Yeah.
I remember that one of the key things this government wanted to do in reshaping the economy was the Ghana Cares of Batampa.
Yeah.
And I know you play a huge role in it.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Okay, so the Ghana Cares of Batampa program is an ambitious 100 billion cedi revitalization program. When COVID happened, a lot of businesses were affected across all sectors of the economy. So government thought it wise to bring a stimulus package sort of to help with the restoration and revitalization program. And it's a very big program. There are over 20 government agencies on board, and NEIP happened to be one of the agencies pushing the youth side of the Ghana Cares of Batampa program. So far, we are on board to help with the youth get interested in farming, especially commercial agriculture. So last year, for instance, we launched a youth and innovative agriculture program under the Ghana Cares of Batampa program, and this sought to train 24,000 youth in innovative agri. We received 40,000 applications from young people of Ghana. And what is happening now is that there's a high appetite for entrepreneurship. So any call for application that we do, we get over subscription. So after the 40,000 applications, we were able to train 24,000 of them across 40 agri training institutions in the country. Training was in vegetable farming, tubers, we had yam and cassava cassava, we had cereals farming, we had agro-processing, those who do the fruit juice, plantain chips and what have you, did agri-tech, and also did livestock and poultry training. And it was very interesting. The interest level was very, very high. So after the training, what we are doing now is to phase the disbursement of grants. Last year we were able to do 500 grants. We disbursed grants to 500 individuals, and this year, just about 2 weeks ago, we've done another 500. So we are going to phase this until we reach all the 24,000 people that we trained. Another program that we are doing on the Ghana Keso Batapa program is the Economic Enclave Project. And this is a commercial farming project where enclaves are being designed and developed and set up with all the infrastructure that is needed for commercial farming. When you go to abroad, the Western countries, farmers are one of the richest people. So that is what we want to model. We want to move the youth away from the subsistence farming that our parents and grandparents were known for, the cattle and hoe farming. So if you go to Asuchare, for instance, the Chopoli area, which is an enclave in the Greater Accra region for the Obatampa program, we are putting up hostels where the students will live on the farm to do their farming. We are getting the machinery ready. We have anchor farmers. The Ministry of Agri gets us a good variety of seeds for planting. The irrigation authority is helping with irrigation. So this is technology-driven agriculture, technology-driven commercial farming, to tell the young people that agric isn't that frustrating or difficult to do. We are creating the environment for you. The machines are doing the plowing. The anchor farmer will teach you how to go about the farming. Even taking your produce to market, you have an anchor farmer who has ready market to connect you to the relevant buyers for them to buy your rice. In case of the Suchare farm, when the rice is harvested.
Okay, so Suchare is for rice.
Suchare is for rice. We've started rice there. Oti is also being developed. Oti is going to do cereals and vegetables and tubers and other crops that we don't import. We're also doing sale between the Kumaru and Agogo, Santiachim area, and this is the Front Plains area. And we have plans of starting the northern region one in Savannah also very soon. So if you realize, recently the president came up with some crops that, or some products that he thinks we should be able to stop their importation as part of our import substitution agenda. So we factor all these things in the choice of, crops that we grow. Because, we still import onions sometimes from Burkina and Niger, some West African neighbors.
We import it heavily.
So these are strategically done to ensure that we are producing enough for local consumption and also to produce more for the international market. Leverage after to enter the sub-regional market of 400 million and also the entire regional market, African regional market of 1.3 billion. And also to add value to this agriculture process, because what is it with these agri products is that they have a long value chain. Whatever you produce, you can add value to them, package them, get a relevant certification and license, and take them to market and even export sale. So it is a cluster of various businesses within the enclaves. So you have maybe cereals cluster, you have livestock cluster, because from the waste from the cereals, you can even feed the livestock. From fruits and vegetable process, you do packaging. The packaging can be done materials from, let's say, the waste from the cereals and what have you. So that is the grand plan, and it's a very ambitious project, and the Millennium Development Authority is leading this under the Ministry of Finance to ensure that all other agencies are also on board and playing their part. What we really do as NEIP is to onboard the young people on the programs. So currently, if you go on our website, www.neip.gov.gh, we have a link there through which you can apply for the rice production program at Asuchare in Cape to become a rice farmer. We are currently building the hostels there. They are near completion. We are going to do the training at a greenhouse estate. Then another Entrepreneurship Center at Dawenya. That is where we are going to train them in the rice cultivation and also give them the business development skills, because whatever you are producing, you need the business side of it and the soft skills to undertake it well. And then once they are done, we'll go to the field and start the right cultivation with the support of the anchor farm as well.
So as we speak, there's no one there.
So as we speak, the anchor farmer is there. And we have even started.
The beneficiaries are not there.
So the youth beneficiaries are not there, but the process has started.
Okay.
They are going to continue. We've cultivated about 500 acres already as a start, and harvesting has even started. You can take your cameras there.
Who did it?
Sorry?
Who did it? Who did the cultivation? Yourself?
The uncle farmer. No, we have somebody who is a model for the youth.
Okay.
Who is leading the project.
So he's been supported by the
organization.
Okay.
So government gave the farm impulse, you know, the seedlings and all those things for the planting to be done, and he is leading it. So that is the model we are using for the enclaves. So we have a number of uncle farmers. So if it is within a 10,000 acre cluster, he is the example, he is the model who is, you know, showing the youth around. This is how, because he has done it for several years. He exports into the international markets, agro canes, and rice. He does it. So he's the uncle farmer that government has chosen to lead the youth who will come on board the project to do same, so that we can have more thousands of acres and be able to have enough rice for local consumption.
So if I'm a youth and I want to be part, how many acres can I be entitled to?
So I think that depends a lot on what happens on the field when you go there, the capacity you show. But the last time I was in a meeting, the discussions were around giving them minimum 5 acres for them to start with. But if you show capabilities and you can do more, why not? Okay. Because we've secured 20,000 acres in Sushari alone. Okay. And there's an opportunity to even extend that. We've secured 30,000 in OT. From Plains area between Kumawu and Agogo, we've secured another 20,000, and there's even more to be done depending on how the pace goes. Yeah.
What am I supposed to come on board with if I'm interested?
You just have to come with your whole being. That is all. Just yourself. That is it. Because government is providing everything: the seedlings, where you will sleep, the resources, logistics, and even connect you to the market, so that probably when the produce is sold, you know, it will be used to defray some of the operational costs, and then you can have your money as a young commercial farmer who is...
I don't have to own a company before?
Not at all. It's a very simple... All what you need is your Ghana card.
Okay. To
come on board. And this is similar to arrangements we have in all our other programs. You know, like as I said, we've introduced some other new programs. NEIP, we start with the beginners. You know, we provide support for startups and small businesses. So when you come, we will start from the beginning, from the basis. We will nurture you, we do the hand-holding, take you through even business registration, any regulatory support that you need for you to become a proper business. Other agencies deal with the existing SMEs. And for them, if it is a big grant especially, they will expect you to have certain documentation before you come on board. But we deal with the youth who are starting businesses, who want to do something, who want to start something. So we have that patience for them to take them through the registration process. And for almost all our programs, from the presidential page to business support to period to pyramid to the greenhouse to the new ones that we've introduced, like the Youth in Innovative Agri, to the Enclave project, to the partnership that we have with UIEA to train them in vocational skills, to the prisons one we did, to our innovation programs. We have 4 new innovation programs: the National Innovation Challenge, High School Innovation Contest, the National Innovation Hackathon. Everything is from beginners. You just have to identify as a Ghanaian. And then I think the only program that we needed business registration was the support that we were giving the hubs, because that was specific. We were providing support from 1 million Ghana cedis to 2 million Ghana cedis to entrepreneurship and innovation hubs. They are like our partners. They help us with the training, with the capacity building. So we needed to check that, of course, they are in the space, they are profitable, what are their figures like, what kind of training do they do, what kind of incubation activities have they done, what kind of accelerator programs have they run, what is their sustainability plan, because you cannot give Ghana government money of 2 million cedis to any company at all. So the entrepreneurship support agencies like NEIPG, Nat'l, and the rest, the support that we give depends on the quantum of amount. That is what, you know, informs us of the documentation. Of course, if it is some 5,000, 10,000 cedis for you to start something, we can take the risk and start with somebody who hasn't even registered in the company.
So as we speak with the Enclave project, you spoke about rice. have you started any other thing? Because you mentioned that you have to start the northern area as well. Aside the rice, which the field is ready, you are building
so as
hostels.
I said, the crops are specially chosen to fit our import substitution program. So if we go to the Kumawu one, I know they are cultivating tomatoes and other
that has also started.
That has started. And the OT one has also started. It is enough one that is yet to start. So far we have 3 enclave projects
that have started. But for all the sites, we don't have the youth there. We are yet to
We are currently starting the onboarding process. That is why I mentioned that if you go on www.neip.gov.gh, we are currently doing onboarding through an expression of interest to the Esuchare enclave in Chopoli for the youth to start doing that activity.
So you've not started the onboarding to the other sites?
No, we are doing the land preparation and the other infrastructure development, because it's a comprehensive project and you need to give the youth where they will even lay their head, you know, and all the facilities that they need to do proper commercial farming before you can start. But at least the project has started and it's
sure.
Infrastructure is being put in place.
So when do we expect to get youth to Esuchare, for example? When is the target date?
The training is going to start next month.
Okay.
Yeah, the training is going to start in September. So I'm sure latest by October, they should start the farming.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the chance is open for people to apply. How many people are you expecting?
We have 10,000 acres, so as many youth that are interested. But of course, the infrastructure there can take up to a certain number. So we are looking at starting with about 300 to 500 now, and then we will be increasing the numbers as we go on, depending on the infrastructure capacities of what we've done there. Yeah.
So if you don't know about it, now you've heard about it, kindly go onto the NEIP platform, apply and then be part of this enclave project. An interesting one, of course.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the number of young people who would start there. Aside that, take me more into the innovative agriculture you spoke about.
Yeah.
What really does it entail?
So the innovative agriculture was to support the youth who are doing their farming already. You know, the enclave project is to introduce them into commercial farming. But innovative agriculture, we targeted the young people who are doing agri already to train them in best agri practices, to train them in modern technology, which supports agriculture, and also to provide them grants to buy farm inputs like fertilizers, insecticides for those in the livestock, the feed, the chemicals that they use, you know, to prevent diseases from attacking them, and all that. Same with the poultry and the livestock. And so far it's gone very well. Last year, some came for support to start aquaculture. And now there's a gentleman in Central Region who started with just 20,000 cities. Now he has 5 big ponds in his aquaculture business. So we do support in the fish farming also as part of the Enclave project. Our brothers and sisters in the north, most of them are doing the cereals, the millet, the maize, the sorghum, and the rest. And we did exhibition in our last disbursement ceremony, and it was very interesting. See some of these cereal products being processed into drinks and other, you know, processed foods, you know, and it was very interesting. Some are processing plantain and what have you, fruit juice, and that's another exciting area, because if you look at the basic food that we consume, the processed tomatoes, the processed rice, and processed fruit juice, every year the nation spends about 2 billion Ghana cedis to import this. The idea is to give young people the capacity locally so that they'll be able to produce substitute goods as replacement for these things, so that instead of going to a shell shop or any mart to buy processed fruit juice with the dollars that is difficult to find that we used to import, we would rather patronize our own locally made fruit juice and stop importing these things. Once we do that, of course, wealth creation happens, and also our currency will also be strengthened, because the money that we used, the 2 billion cedis that we used to import this annually, will be kept here. We wouldn't have to go looking for dollars. The cocoa process, which is $2 billion that we get ends up being used to import these basic things, you know, which we can produce. And so far, I think the response has also been good. Our people have a huge appetite to do these things. The resources and the logistics and the tools and equipment and machinery that is needed to do them are not difficult to come by. Sometimes all they need is a domestic blender in a hygienic environment to start processing the fruit juice. We connect them to FDA Standards Authority, they get the approval, and then they are on the market and they are selling. And they are actually natural and taste better than, you know, the juices that we import from outside, which has a lot of artificial additives. So we will continue to support them. It's being phased. Anytime you get funds from the Ministry of Finance, you do the next quote. We will do it until we cover majority of it.
So how many people are on this innovative agricultural scheme? So
we trained 24,000 of them last year across the 6 areas that I mentioned: vegetables, tubers, agro-processing, cereals, poultry, livestock, agri-tech, and we have disbursed grants to 1,000 of them so far. We are expecting to do about 2 or 3 cohorts before the end of the year. The next year we will continue with the disbursement.
How much does each receive, depending on the business?
So they receive between 10,000 cedis and 100,000, depending on the scale of the business. There's a gentleman who came for the recent disbursement ceremony who has over 100 acres of maize farm in the Bono Havu region. Of course, he is going to receive more than somebody who has, let's say, 100 or 200 chicken in his poultry business. So the level of support we give depends on the size of the farm. Our monitoring and evaluation team goes on the site to do due diligence and brings a report, and that's what informs what grant we decide to give each farmer.
There's also the belief that sometimes some of these projects, you target, you know, in quote, people who belong to your political parties for support. How do you ensure that, you know, whoever you're giving the money to is not only a member of your party, but I mean a Ghanaian?
We want to make impact. We want to create jobs. So we cannot focus on only those who are identified as MPP. Our processes are very transparent. If you look at the presidential pitch, for instance, we had a panel of judges who did the selection, and we didn't intervene in the selection. It is the same with the grant committee, which does the disbursement through the Youth in Agri program. It is very transparent. We have some metrics that they use to do the assessment. So all the 50 people who came for the disbursement ceremony, for instance, if you call them, they will tell you that they were just called at random to come to Kama conference room where we had a disbursement ceremony, and then they were given the academic checks and we've disbursed the money to them. So it is a very transparent process. But MPP people are also Ghanaian. So if you're MPP and you have a farm and you qualify, of course, MPP people have gotten it. Some are NDC, some are Neutral. It is for young people of Ghana. All right.
I also read that you wanted to do something in the prisons.
So that is our Entrepreneurship for Restoration program. And we focused on the prisons because we have a 15,000 youth population in the prisons. We cannot be deploying entrepreneurship support programs in the ecosystem without thinking about these 15,000 who find themselves there, unfortunately. So what we did was to sit with the prisons DG and design a program for them. So these are hands-on programs, how to make soaps, like liquid soap and other medicated soap that they even use in the prisons, how to process cereals like Tom Brown, processed rice, and the rest, fruit juice processing, and other, you know, regular consumables that we use in our homes. And it didn't just end at the training. We've given them business development support too, so that they can market whatever they are producing. And we've set them up in the prison. So as I'm talking to you now, 6 prisons across the country, including in Sawam, Kumasi, Akusi, and others, have equipment for production of some of these products: liquid soap, Tom Browns, fruit juice, and what have you. Local drinks like Asana and the rest. And these are products that they are producing and using, and they can even sell them to the markets, like the way they used to process tissue paper at Instagram and others. So our prisons are gradually becoming factories now. Thanks to the collaboration between NEIP and the Ghana Prison Service too.
So when I go to these prisons, I'll see some of these productions. You're calling them factories?
Yes, they are mini factories already, because if you are to look at the pictures of our launch, which we had with Honorable Interior Minister, the products from the prisons were exhibited. And the minister was even surprised that within a short time they had gotten this training and they were producing some of those things for their consumption already. Of course, they have to go through certain processes before those products can go to the market to be sold, because they are new products.
As you sit here, I'm sure you have a tenure within which you have to work.
Yeah.
If your tenure comes to an end and you arise from this seat, or you rise from this seat, what sort of legacy do you want to be, remembered by, or do you want to live here?
Okay, that's a very good question. So fortunately for me, I met a program that is the Ghana Economic Transformation Project, and this project seeks to reposition NEIP as a stronger entrepreneurship and innovation agency. So we've done the audits and we've highlighted the weaknesses of the agency, and we are reinforcing the agency based on the audit that was done. So if you go to ecosystems like Kenya, South Africa, Israel, there is an authority which oversees innovation and entrepreneurship. We were set up with an executive instrument, and that is not big a legal framework enough. I would want to leave an NEIP which is backed by law, with an act of parliament, with all the powers to give incentives to startups for them to be able to thrive in the ecosystem, to grow, to become the unicorns of tomorrow, so that anybody who comes here will have a template to work with. And agencies like the Israel Innovation Authority, the South Africa Technology Innovation Agency, because the systems are there and government has provided those incentives, it doesn't have to take somebody who comes to sit on the seat to think about what to do. Because you know that as an innovation authority of Ghana, let's say if it becomes Ghana Innovation Authority, if NEIP becomes that, you know that this is the mission, this is the vision. Not that we don't have some today, but it will be properly put in context with a legal framework, with a board, with possibly a fund, with support of the development partners and the private sector. Everybody will play their role, and with a checklist, you will know that this is what we are doing for innovation to thrive, for those who have ideas to help commercialize and launch the ideas. And this is what we're also doing for existing business already, for them to grow and become the unicorns of tomorrow. This is what we are doing for mass businesses, for them to multiply easily, to create more jobs, so that we have a ripple effect in the economy. So that is a kind of NEIP I can envisage, and I hope to sincerely hand that over before the tenure of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo comes to an end. We are working on that with the relevant agencies. We are working on the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology, to see where there will be synergies to explore and exploit, to ensure that we are not duplicating activities in the ecosystem, and we are working in unison to ensure that we have a robust innovation agency to support the private sector to grow.
I guess you've started the legislation process then, because you have like 2 years?
Yeah.
Less than 2
so
years.
There's a committee working on the act, and we are collaborating with relevant agencies like the MST and others to ensure that it is passed. And government is supporting us. Even under the Ghana Digital Acceleration Project, the JDAP, there is a fund which is allocated purposely for the passage of that act. So it is ongoing.
All right. Thank you so much. But a lot of your young guys are going into politics. They want to go into parliament. Do you want to go as well? Which constituency?
Yes. I'm a full-time politician, you know. I've been a full soldier since my test days.
I mean parliament.
Yes. So why not? Parliament is one of the political growth processes. So I have that. I've actually contested primaries before.
Oh, okay.
I contested in 2020, and I hope to contest again next year when the party opens nominations. My constituency is Asante Achim Central, and I hope to represent them soon.
Okay. All right, then all the best then.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so that is, if you haven't been to the NEIP website, kindly do, because there are so many opportunities there. Go grab one for yourself and let's help build Ghana together.